Welcome to Norrisbro, Copenhagen, an area that's renowned for homelessness, crime, you name it, is found here. Let's put boots on the ground and find out for ourselves. What are you selling? This is an area that's renowned for the violence. When I asked at the hotel reception about directions, I was warned against travelling here. I was told not to visit, and it's not a very safe place here for tourists. Here in Norrisbro now. Got a little street market going on. Hello, hello. What are you selling? Selling all their bits. I don't think that guy was too happy with being on camera, showing me his arse. So as you can see, in this main square, there's loads of people just sat about. They were selling stuff on the street there, you just seen a minute ago. A huge, stark contrast to what you would find in the central business district of Copenhagen. So many people just sat about, waiting around. Crazy. So it's a Tuesday afternoon, so I'm assuming none of these people have got jobs. I wasn't expecting to find that here in Copenhagen. My time thus far here, to me, on the surface, Copenhagen is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever visited. However, it's very clear there is an underbelly here. It's just right outside the main metro station here. Got to watch out for them cyclists, man. We're going. It's the first time in my trip to Copenhagen that I've been made to feel especially not wanted. My presence is unwanted in this area of Copenhagen, that is for sure. I've never seen anything like it. There's so many people just sat about, drinking. I've seen open drug use. Crazy. I really wasn't expecting this. Just so many people. The items out. It's over this side. Got some smoking patches, remote controls, shoe boxes. That was the man over there. Told me to get lost. On the peripherals, it looks wonderful. The architecture's stunning. There's loads of shops open, bustling streets, and then just in that central area, tons of homelessness, open drug use. I saw numerous things that I can't really say on YouTube. Yeah, very open drug use, very open crime, homelessness. Quite shocking, to be honest. I really wasn't expecting that from Copenhagen. Walking one of the back streets here in Norrisbro, and there is numerous signs of drug use all along in the bushes here. Burnt spoons, you name it, it's here. Heading back to the main station now, it's just over there. But a lot of these streets that I've been walking down aren't actually paved. This is a bit bizarre. On the bus now. One thing I will say is the Danish public transportation system is so efficient and so easy to use. It's one thing you've got to go so careful of in Copenhagen is the bike lane. Welcome to the Blackguardsplads area of Copenhagen, one that's renowned for gang violence, drug use, homelessness. You can see there's certainly a different vibe walking around Blackguardsplads. This is an area that's renowned for the violence, holding some of the highest crime rates here in Copenhagen. It opens up into these big high-rise residential areas. Certainly has got a London look and feel to it. Certainly a different feeling in this area of Copenhagen. Let's head deeper in now. Some homeless folk over there. Certainly a stark contrast to Copenhagen city centre. Tons of homeless people pitched up on the benches. The smell of alcohol is overwhelming. Absolutely stinks in this area of booze. Seems to be a number of homeless encamped in that area there, within the children's play area. Oh look, they've got a barbecue. It's like a full-on camp there. See everyone there staring at me. The camp's there. Blackguardsplads. I don't know if you caught it, but there was one of the guys there in the homeless camp started screaming at me then. I guess my presence is not wanted here. I was being watched at all times. As I said, the Blackguardsplads area is home to a very violent gang here within Copenhagen. So, definitely on my toes. When I stepped off the bus here in the Blackguardsplads area of Copenhagen, it was like I stepped foot off into a different city. Totally different feeling. There was graffiti everywhere, rubbish out and about on the streets, homeless folk on every single bench available. A total stark contrast to what I've found thus far in my time in Copenhagen. So many bikes just left out. Almost guarantee not one of these are locked. So there might be high levels of gang-related violence, but bike theft seems to not exist here. So say, look, none of these bikes are locked up. Look, pick it up. Could just ride off of it if I wanted. Let me know in the comments below, how long would a bike last sat outside your house in the UK? I've now randomly found myself in a graveyard here in Copenhagen on the outskirts of Blackguardsplads. Tough one. Buried or cremated? Cremated. Try and sneak up on him. Oh, he don't care. And the ball's on him. He does not give a monkeys that I'm here. Big group of guys there. So outside the big Looks to be a synagogue, or it was once upon a time. How do I get past? See the Danish flags flying high down there. I'm leaving the Blackguardsplads area now of Copenhagen. I'm going to head to an inner city area that I've heard is renowned for drug use. It holds a building there that drug users from Copenhagen can take their drug of choice to go and use it in one of the rooms and be watched or looked after if anything goes wrong. So let's head over to H17 in Copenhagen city centre and find out what the crack is. No pun intended. Literally 1 minute outside the Blackguardsplads area of Copenhagen, you're greeted by some of the most spectacular, tremendous architecture I have ever seen. As you can see, guys, I've had to put the shades on. The sun's come out in Denmark and I'm very happy about that because it was freezing this morning.
Seen you on YouTube, haven't I?
Yeah, you have, yeah.
With, what do you call that? Backpacker Ben?
Backpacker Ben and Bold and Bankrupt,
yeah,
mate.
Man, and Bold and Bankrupt.
That's right, mate. Yeah,
Welcome to Denmark. But
it's first time in Denmark. Yeah. Yeah, let me...
You're lucky it's good weather today.
It's beautiful weather today. Where would you tell me to go and see today?
Whoa. Try and go inside the city.
That's where I'm headed to now, boss.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people and the weather is good, so you should enjoy it.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Nice to meet you.
What was your channel?
Joe Fish.
Joe Fish.
Joe Fish.
I'm gonna subscribe.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you, mate. Like and subscribe. There you go. Shout out to Backpacker Ben and Bold and Bankrupt. Get recognised in Copenhagen now, thanks to you, Pet. Can't bleed and go anywhere. I'm just kidding. I've arrived in the Codbein area of Copenhagen, where one of the only open drug usage places in the world exists. A place where drug users can come and openly use their drugs, being overlooked by medical practitioners in a safe place. How would you feel about that? Seems a very strange concept to me. The building just behind me there, that man going into it, that is the H17 compound. Crazy. Just had one screaming at me here at this area of Copenhagen. Crazy place. I was about to go and do some recording outside, but I don't know, we might wait for him to go and go back. The infamous H17, where the drug users can come and openly use their drugs. Lots of people out there, the sharps bin. Crazy. I wonder what problems that causes within the area. Seems like a strange concept to allow the drug users to come and use the drugs, but then again, do you then isolate it to a certain area and then it can be sort of policed and overlooked? But from my visits around Copenhagen today, I can tell you that it's certainly not isolated. However, it is only in the 2 or 3 sort of no-go areas for the tourists within Copenhagen that you would find the open drug use. I saw numerous times. I was so surprised. Okay guys, we're leaving the Codbein or meatpacking district of Copenhagen, where the H17 block lies. I'm heading out of that area now. I'm done with that. Let's go. Just on the outskirts there, pile of trash. Don't see much of that though in Copenhagen, to be frank. Like I say, we are in one of the worst areas of Copenhagen, so it's kind of to be expected, I suppose. Oh look, someone's sofa. Blimey, we back in Birmingham? Blimey, I thought I was back in Birmingham for a second then. Pile of trash on the corner, sofa on the street. But no, in all seriousness, you really don't see much of that here in Copenhagen. Welcome to Jolna-Parken, recently added to the ghetto list by the Danish government. Let's explore this area of Copenhagen, one that I was warned not to visit. Jolna-Parken. Probably absolutely butchering the name. My Danish is not great. So first impressions as you walk into Parken, it's definitely a lot different to the central area of Copenhagen. You can see there's a load of like abandoned bikes here. In fact, it's not even got a tyre on it, this one. Very different, lots of graffiti on the streets. So this area of Copenhagen was recently listed as a ghetto by the Danish government. These are not my words. However, they have now rebranded this term to vulnerable residential area. I think it's more of a polite way of saying ghetto. But let's head in and find out. Walking into the precinct now. So right in Parken now, and you can just see blocks and blocks of residential buildings. It looks like some sort of prison complex from the outside, doesn't it? Certainly a stark contrast to Copenhagen city centre. The van there with the graffiti all over it. Blimey. I'm walking past the first abandoned shop that I've seen in Copenhagen. I've not seen any thus far, and there's two next to each other, closed down, boarded up. Fruit market. The locals going about their business, getting their vegetables. Shawarma chicken. More abandoned bikes. Absolutely none of the bikes here in Copenhagen are ever locked up. A very trusting city, I must say. So those row of shops there are closed, but they're all up together. They're not in a state of disrepair like you would find in the UK. Considering this is supposed to be one of the worst areas of Copenhagen, honestly, I do not think it compares with the UK. Just look at it, the streets are spotless. Yes, there's the abandoned bikes everywhere. But generally, well, just look at those buildings. Stunning. Maybe not these 1980s red brick ones, but the beautiful Victorian ones with the spires on the top and things. Amazing. One of the areas here where the residents can come and relax. There's benches up there. It's not too bad at all, really. On the surface, anyway. You can see some of these buildings are in a bit of disrepair. Boarded up, got bits of board repairing the windows and things like that. So, recently the Parken area was put onto the Danish government's ghetto list. Now, the Danish government use things like unemployment, high crime rates, low education to factor this. There is, I think, in the region of around about 30 other low-income neighbourhoods that are on this ghetto list. Generally, it's a very unremarkable place. Very tidy, there's nothing to draw your attention to. If you was just wandering through, you wouldn't even know it. It's all up together. If this is honestly one of the worst areas within Copenhagen, it's not even comparable to the UK. It really, really isn't. Certainly something you don't see in England. Big communal skip. That explains why there's no rubbish and sofas and mattresses on the streets like there is in the UK. Because the Danish government actually provide a means to get rid of it. If only the British government would do things like that, leave a big communal skip or bin out. Hopefully then the people would sort the problems out themselves. Well guys, that was the Parken area of Copenhagen. As I said, an area that was recently put onto the ghetto list by the Danish government. Do you think that was justified? I mean, on the surface, everything looks together, tidy. no rubbish on the streets. A stark contrast to the UK. If this is what they call a ghetto, they should come and visit some of our UK cities. My goodness. So guys, let me know what you thought. That was the areas of Copenhagen that the tourists do not go to. As I said, I was warned off visiting a couple of those areas by my reception staff at the hotel. But comparatively to the UK, it doesn't even compare. Different league. The deprivation, poverty, homelessness, crime rates within the UK are exceedingly high compared to other places within Europe, especially Copenhagen. It was only a few times, yes, I did get threatened 2 times today at least, that I understood anyway, and I have seen open drug use, but you'll find that in most large European cities now. And compared to those other European cities, and specifically cities within the UK, Copenhagen is a very safe place to visit, and I will certainly be back.